All right. I'm back, y'all. Look, I know I want this to be majority of a basketball channel. But I also talk about football as well. I know the NFL season is coming up real soon. I think preseason starts in like a couple weeks from now, or depending on how long this this video uploads. But if you guys don't know, or if you guys do know, for those who watch football, I want to touch on this real quick. So apparently, I think this was either earlier today or yesterday that Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs, if you guys don't know what's going on, apparently both of those two running backs are holding out from training camp because they're not getting the money that they wanted. Now, I don't know how much they're paying Josh Jacobs, but I do know that the Giants are paying $19 million for Saquon, according to General Fisk Vegas and RJ. So I'm gonna give a shout out to them first, because I think they were the first two that I was informed by, and then Microphone as well for dropping his video. I'll be sure to have their channels linked in the description. But I got my information from them, and I also, listened to their videos. I honestly kind of agree, man, that I think it was kind of dumb for them to hold out. Look, man, I'm just gonna say this outright. All right. I believe, according to Fisk Vegas and RJ, the annual salary or the average salary for running backs is around 10 mil. And the Giants basically gave Saquon an extra $9 million, to keep them. Now, if I was Saquon, I would have kept that. But I guess he wants more money because, depending on how, because of how much he is worth-wise, I guess how important he is to the team. I want to say this too, right? I agree with Fisk and RJ when they said that the running back position is fading away. I think it's been fading away. Personally, I think the running back position has been fading away since, I want to say 2018. And then ever since then, it's just been a whole lot of NFL teams hasn't been keeping their franchise, or I guess their starting running back, for a good 5, maybe 6 or so years. Now, I don't know how long Alvin Kamara has been on the Saints, but I know he's been there for a whole minute, man. Now, I think the reason why the Saints still have Alvin is because I think he's eligible to be a wide receiver. Because for those who don't know, I think he's a part-time running back. I believe before Alvin Kamara, it was what's his name, man? Is it Latavius Murray? And then before that, it was Mark Ingram, an old Mark Ingram at that. So yeah, man. Running backs are really fading away in the NFL, man. I remember just 6 years ago, how good the running back position was. Remember how good guys like who was that running back that just won with Tom Brady? He was a beast on the Jags. Leonard Fournette. I remember how good he was. Guys like him, guys like Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman from the Atlanta Hawks. Remember how good he was. And of course Todd Gurley. But as the years go on, those running backs soon to fade away. I believe the only person that is still on a team is Leonard Fournette. I think after that injury that Todd Gurley had, he really just fell drastically as far as, his ability to run and all that other junk, the power. Le'Veon Bell, I think he even came out and said he regretted not re-signing with the Steelers. And I kind of knew it was going to be a mistake on his part, because I was just like, get that money now before a whole lot of other teams aren't going to see you how much you're really worth, or at least the money that you're close to what you want. And look at him now. He was on the Jets, I believe, for only 1 year when they were trash. And I think after that, he hasn't been on a team since then, other than that one stint he had with the Chiefs. I think that was when they lost to the Buccaneers just a few years ago. And ever since then, he never really found a team yet, or hasn't really been on a team. I think the last time I even heard about him was when he was on the practice team for the Ravens, and I think they cut him. So I don't know, man. The running back position is really fading away, and it wasn't really as good as it was in the early 2000 teens with beast mode. Definitely not in the 2000s or the 90s or even the 80s at that. It's really hard for these running backs to really find a team and really get the money that they deserve, And if you notice that they're starting to use other positions for the running back position. For example, I don't know if the 49ers are still using this method, but if you guys remember last year or a few years ago, they started using Deebo Samuel as the running back. Because I don't even think they had one by the time they were doing it. Now they do have one now in Christian McCaffrey. I believe, I don't know if they're still running that play for him or not, or they're going to use Christian McCaffrey for a few plays for the run, and then Deebo can use they can use some other plays for Deebo to run. But you realize that other positions such as the wide receiver or even the tight end, because I don't even think hardly any teams have fullbacks anymore. So it's really hard to find, for these running backs to find just the money that they want, and how they're not getting, I guess, not the respect that they deserve. And I think it goes back to my point a few years ago that the running back position is soon going to fade away. And, shout out to my dad too, right? I remember talking to my dad about this, and my dad essentially said that the running back position is going to soon turn into the center position in the NBA, where you can't be a traditional big anymore. You have to shoot threes. You have to do all these other credentials and space out the floor for all these other players. You have to do all these things in order to get on a team. I think that's what running backs are going to have to start doing. So instead of just being a traditional running back, you have to start, blocking. You have to start being a wide receiver and catch the ball. You have to do all these things in order to be on the team and possibly even get the money that you deserve, man. I think the traditional, at least to me, I think that the traditional running back is, I don't want to say it's essentially gone, because I still think there's teams that still operate through the run game. The Tennessee Titans are a good example. The Panthers, back when they had Christian McCaffrey, was a good example. I don't know. I hardly doubt that I think the 49ers are doing a bit both running and passing. The Seahawks, back when they had Russell Wilson to be exact, and they had what was his name, Chris Carson or something like that. They were still operating through the run. So teams like that, there's still some run operating teams that just go off of the run, but that's soon going to fade away, man. And I think running backs are going to have to find other requirements, other NFL teams and owners are going to have to make requirements for all these running backs in order for them to be a part of this team. Because the game, how the NFL works now, it's not just an offensive led game anymore. It's all about, the passing ability. That's why all these running backs, not running backs, that's why all these wide receivers and the tight ends are getting all this money. Tyreek Hill, I'm trying to think, who was that running back? I keep saying running back, goddamn. Who's that wide receiver that just got the bag from, what's his name? I think it was Darren Waller, right? That got traded from the Raiders to the Giants. Guys like him, so the wide receiver position, as years go on, the money's going to increase because of how important the game is now with all this passing, So, anyway, I don't want to drag this out too long. That's all I really got to say. Hopefully, hopefully guys like Saquon and Josh Jacobs can, reach an agreement or just, throw up a prayer and just hope another team gets them, man. So I wish them both the best. Anyway, that's it. I'm out.